A few weeks ago, we began following a home remodeling project on the south side of Springfield. Since we last visited, they've made a lot of progress. KY3's Abby Wellner has a look at where they stand now.
Hey, we're back at a house in southeast Springfield, a home remodel. We are following with our Wells Works construction crew. Victoria Wells is here showing us what you have accomplished in the last several weeks since we've been here. A lot has changed.
A lot has changed, yeah. Their kitchen used to be over here. There used to be a nice big wall right here, which is gone.
Which we're standing in, kind of.
Yes. This is actually going to be the new kitchen. So we have gotten everything together. We've run all of our electrical, all of our plumbing is all set up. We've given them a new well. Put in can lights for them up here. This is going to be beautiful, a whole extra amount of lighting. Where right in this area back in here is going to be the new island. So we've got this all set up for pendant lights to be hanging down for their new island. And we're moving right along.
So you're onto you had a blank slate the last time we were here, and now you're kind of molding it to your own idea. And one big thing you're working on right now, we'll walk over this way, are your windows and doors.
Windows and doors are really, really important. This is something we've actually been waiting for all of these to come in for the custom items that they actually chose for the home. We had specific grid patterns that they wanted. They had very inefficient windows and doors, as you can see. This is actually the old frame of the window itself, and they had what was called a double hung window, and this double hung window was pretty similar that you're pretty used to. They slide up and down along the like that, and then here these are actually single paned, and so this is where the inefficiency comes into play. So right there in itself sorry about that. Right there in itself, a huge amount of either heat or cold can come in and out of these, so we wanted to get these out and get them into some new windows in here.
All right, and we'll head outside now and take a look at what all was wrong and what you have fixed.
Yes, sounds good.
All right, now we're back outside, and Mark here is working on replacing these windows. Tell us a little bit about what he's up to out here.
Well, out here what we're having to do is originally, like we had mentioned, they had double hung windows that were in here before. And the new casement windows that they're actually wanting to do are these. Beautiful prairie style grid and everything, and then these are metal clad on the outside. What these are going to do is actually crank out, swing out, and they're just beautiful. They let a wonderful amount of light and air in, but we have to reframe the window in. So this is actually a new construction window instead of a remodeling window. A lot of times you can actually put a remodeling window in place, but with this one, because we went with a smaller size, we actually have to reframe it in. So that's what we're working on right now.
So a lot more work involved, and then we're going to take a look in our next segment a little bit about the things you have to do to make sure everything is insulated properly. So you have some tape in your hands, all right, and we'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. Paula?
See you again in a half hour. Thank you. If you're looking for ways to make some changes before the frosty winter air gets into your house, windows might be a good place to start. KY3's Abby Wellner has more with the remodeler from Wells Works Construction.
Hey Paula, we're back outside talking about windows and doors and proper insulation techniques. And Victoria, you've got them installing new construction windows here right now. And what is Sean doing to make sure that the water, the cold air, the hot air in the summer, all of that stays out?
What we're doing right now is we actually framed in the window smaller like we had talked about on the other one. So when we framed it in smaller, this, after you do a new construction, you need to make sure that you actually do the window tape. And what he's doing is the window tape right now. What that's going to do is help that if any water were ever to get behind it, what it'll help it to do is run straight down and away from the window and not go back inside of the house. And then from there we're putting on brick mold, hence we have brick, and this is the molding that's actually going to go into place. It'll get caulked properly and it'll frame out the window.
Okay, and this is of course just for new windows, and a lot of people are installing those right now because we've heard so much about the rebates and the incentives out there that are available. What can you tell us to kind of clear up some of that? I know it's not on every window.
It is not, and that's really important. A lot of these windows that you'll see actually will say Energy Star on them. That means that they are energy efficient, and those are great windows to be putting in, but they may not be available for the rebates and or the tax credits. There are two different things out there right now. There are tax credits and there are rebates. Individual manufacturers are offering individual rebates. The federal tax credit is a credit up to $1,500 for set guidelines on each of the windows. So they have to meet certain criteria, which they have to be triple paned, they have to have argon gas on the inside, they have to have a specific type of glass put in them. So when someone is going to actually order a window, they need to make sure that they actually get the tax credit glass. glass. And so you want to make sure that if you're working with a contractor, you're asking the right questions.
Okay, I was going to say that seems like a lot of details.
Yes.
Is there any one place that you suggest people go to make sure that they aren't going to be scammed?
In general, when they go into Home Depot and go into Lowe's or any of the other, box stores, and they're asking those questions, their representatives are set up for those type of things, and they will actually be able to walk them through different questions like that. There are also different websites that are out there as that are available, and that would be, as my husband is telling us in the background here, nfrc.org.
Okay.
And that is a place that they can actually go and get all of the different criterias that are available for all the different tax credits that are out there.
Okay, and before we go, we want to talk a little bit about doors. Does this apply to doors as well?
Yes, it does. The $1,500 is available for windows. Doors have upwards of $1,000 that are available depending on the number of doors that you actually put in, and it does go along with them. Same situation. They have to have specific glass, and they have to be Energy Star, and then they have to have insulating values. Insulating values are actually how the frames are made, as well as for a front door. There's fiberglass doors, and there are metal clad doors, and they have an insulating value on the inside. So what that's designed to do is actually minimize the amount of heat or air that can come in or out, and that's how you're going to get those rebates available based upon those things.
Tons of information, a lot of specific questions.
Yes.
People need to take up with their contractors whenever they're working on their own houses.
Or call us, we'll help you.
Exactly, and you'll help out. All right, well, thank you so much, Victoria. And we're going to come back for one more quick minute toward the end of the show to talk about something you can do at home to make sure that your house is ready for winter. Paula.
Sounds good. Some helpful tips coming up. Want to show up your house for the winter months without spending a fortune? Let's head back out to the Wells Works remodel we're following in South Springfield for a few last-minute tips.
Hey Paula, Victoria and I are back with a quick tip for homeowners out there who are maybe looking to seal up their homes a little bit better for the winter. And we were talking about those wonderful, beautiful doors that you put in. And of course, not everyone can do that, but everyone can make little things, little changes that can make their homes a little bit warmer for the winter.
Absolutely. And once before we did a little segment with you and we brought in a window. So this is actually their front door, and it's a real simple thing that can be done. An average person can actually take your trim off, which is the piece that goes around this. This is actually called your casing. You can pop that off with a hammer, really easy. And if you notice here, you can actually feel the cold air coming through.
It almost feels like a vent. Yeah.
And so what is great about this type of thing, this can be gotten at Home Depot or Lowe's or any hardware store like that. It's called Great Stuff. It's designed to actually fill in those cracks for you, and it's really simple to do. You're actually going to just put it in the back, and it expands, and it's expanding foam, and you can watch it come through. And it's okay if you go through and you find an area that, oh my goodness, I put too much or anything like that. Once it dries, it just cuts straight off. You put your piece back, just like insulation. Put your piece back on and you're done. The average home has a 4x4 square area if you add up all the little cracks and crevices of cold and hot air coming through it. So if you go around and do little things like this, it's going to really help you during those winter months.
So if you can't do the windows and doors right now, you can make those little changes.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks so much, Victoria, and we'll be back in just a couple of weeks to take a look at the progress on this house, and we understand a lot to look forward to, Paula.
All right, thank you.